Chapter 81. This is to carry on future generations. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 81. This is to carry on future generations. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Lin Che glared at him. Who would like you? You are too narcissistic. Gu Jingze held his face and stared at her, but when I kissed you yesterday, you obviously liked it. Lin Che clicked her tongue and exclaimed, who liked it? Why you should be more clear. I was scared, okay. Gu Jingze narrowed his eyes. Were you really scared? Why did I feel like you enjoyed it? Your feelings are wrong. Gu Jingze smiled sinisterly, his mouth seductively curling up into a smirk. I will know if I feel it again, he said as he pulled himself closer to her. Lin Che was shocked by his sudden movement and quickly leaned backward. However, Gu Jingze moved forward. One hand was on the sofa while he grabbed her hand that was pushing him away with his other hand. He held onto her wrist and pressed her into the sofa. Shocked, Lin Che said, You. Let go of me, Gu Jingze. This is the living room. Gu Jingze looked at the shock in her eyes, her flushed cheeks and embarrassment on her face. It fascinated him. What's wrong with the living room? This is our home, we're husband and wife. Nobody can say anything about what we do in any room. Lin Che pushed the man in front of her. Her hands pressed against his chest and she could feel his huge pectoral muscles. They filled her palms, even when she just touched them. Then again, every part of his body was well defined. Lin Che was at a loss. Gu Jingze was coming down on her, looking at her struggle to get away. His lips just grazed the tip of her nose and stayed there. He was amused by her panic, slowly torturing her mind. Now tell me. Do you like it or not? His lips were now brushing against hers as he smiled. Lin Che bit her lip. Let me go, Gu Jingze. Do you like it or not? No. Wrong answer. Gu Jingze pecked her on her lips. Lin Che's face flushed a bright red. Gu Jingze, you're making fun of me. Be careful. I might just spit at you. Spit. He smiled, not like I've never tasted it before. Gu Jingze. You have such weird taste. Gu Jingze replied, I wouldn't marry you otherwise. You. Gu Jingze really picked up bad manners. Gu Jingze, if you don't let me go now, I'm going to get violent. Ha, I want to see how you get violent. You underestimate me, Gu Jingze. Lin Che smiled and suddenly raised her knee. She aimed it straight between his legs. Ouch. Gu Jingze winced and immediately let go of Lin Che. He rolled off the sofa. Lin Che was shocked. She had expected him to react fast and stop her, but he did not this time. Gu Jingze sat on the expensive carpet, clearly in pain. Lin Che quickly knelt down beside him on the carpet and looked at him worriedly. She apologetically said, Sorry, Gu Jingze. How is it? Are you in great pain? Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che and shook his head, Not too bad. It's all right. Is that pain? I'm really sorry. I used to play a lot with boys like that as a kid and it wasn't that painful for them. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che. Children are not fully developed. Of course, it's not as painful for them. You should know that my size is completely different from a child's. Lin Che stared at this shameless man. What a time to say things like that. Looks like you're not in pain. You can even make jokes. Gu Jingze smiled again. I can joke about anything, but I'm not joking about size. Gu Jingze, you have really changed. You weren't so shameless before. Gu Jingze's eyes swept over Lin Che. I can't help but want to be shameless around you. It was her fault now. Why you, when did you learn to talk like that? I don't need to be taught these kinds of things. I assume all men would want children. And when they see a lady they want to carry children with, they automatically learn to talk like that. That's how humans reproduce. Go away. You're just being shameless, there's no need to butter it up. Gu Jingze smiled, but it actually still hurt. Looking at Gu Jingze's expression, Lin Che remained on the floor shyly and lowered her head. How? Should we go to the hospital? Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che and he lowered his head and whispered beside her ear, I'll be fine just rubbing it. Dot. Lin Che exclaimed, rubbing. What nonsense. Other places could be rubbed, but there. How could that part be rubbed? Gu Jingze held her wrist and pulled her closer, if you don't try, you'll never know. Lo Lin Che thought that he was going to pull her hand down to that area when a voice came from the door. Jing. Jingze, what? What are you doing? Mo Huiling came at this time. Gu Jingze was shocked. He did not expect Mo Huiling to simply enter the house like that. He let go of Lin Che's hand and got up. At the side, Lin Che also quickly stood up. Gu Jingze looked at Mo Huiling with displeasure. Huiling, how can you just come in here like that? This was his and Lin Che's home. Furthermore, he was a grown man now. It was not like when they were children and it was acceptable to enter rooms of the opposite gender. What if he was naked at home? Mo Huiling looked at the two who were behaving intimately just now. If she was not mistaken, Gu Jingze was actually pulling Lin Che's hand and not letting go. The two of them were so close that they looked like one person. Was Gu Jingze's illness cured? Mo Huiling glanced at Lin Che with jealousy and hatred. Lin Che looked at them with interest and picked up her scripts on the table. You two can talk. I'm going to look at my scripts. Lin Che. Gu Jingze wanted to call her but Mo Huiling said, okay. Thanks, Lin Che. Then, she walked over and grabbed Gu Jingze's arm. Gu Jingze looked at her hand and frowned. Huiling, let go of me first. The maids are everywhere. It's not good for them to see us like this. Mo Huiling glared at him in a furious manner, and it's okay for you and Lin Che to be seen. I'm just pulling your arm and it's not good to be seen. Huiling, she is my wife. It won't matter if anyone sees. You. Mo Huiling was even angrier as she bit her lips and yelled, but I've always been intimate with you since we were kids. Everybody knew and nobody said anything then. Why is it not good now? Okay, just let go first. Let's talk outside. Gu Jingze's face darkened. He looked harshly at Mo Huiling. Seeing his expression, Mo Huiling dared not to say anything else and reluctantly let go. Chapter 82. It felt disgusting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 82. It felt disgusting. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Then, let's go back to my place, Mo Huiling said. Gu Jingze looked at her and nodded. The two of them drove off from the Gu household. When they arrived at Mo Huiling's place, they got out of the car and Mo Huiling pulled Gu Jingze into her own room. Mo Huiling pouted her lips and looked at Gu Jingze. Jingze, I miss you so much. I want to be with you every day. Gu Jingze looked at her hesitantly, but Huiling, I'm already married. Mo Huiling raised her head. You're married but you love me, Jingze. Don't tell me you've fallen for her. Why else would you want to get so close to her? You too. How far have you two gone? Gu Jingze was not sure what that was either, but he did want to get close to Lin Che. Every time he got close to her, it made him forget everything and he followed his impulsive desires. It was a completely different feeling from being with Mo Huiling. He wondered if it was because he touched her with nothing happening to him and that was why he felt safe. However, there was an emotional connection with Mo Huiling, a mutual sense of familiarity. They were like soulmates. Gu Jingze closed his eyes and felt as if he had let Mo Huiling down. He sighed and let go of Mo Huiling's hand. Huiling, I feel like it would be best if we don't continue this anymore. Mo Huiling was shocked. Gu Jingze continued, sorry. However, I don't want to waste any more of your youth. I've already taken away so many years, I've taken enough. I can't marry you because I can't touch you. As long as I'm not cured, I won't be able to touch you at all. You'll suffer every day with me. Your family never approved of us, so there was really no future for us. It's because I was too selfish that I was with you. Mo Huiling was shaken. Her face suddenly turned pale as she looked at Gu Jingze in disbelief. Her lips lost their color. You've been with me even up until my marriage, you're only wasting time, Huiling. Let's break up. Gu Jingze could not bear to look at Mo Huiling. After all, it was a relationship that lasted for many years. Although he was cold and ruthless in his business, he was soft-hearted outside of it. Gu Jingze stood up and was ready to leave. Mo Huiling unexpectedly grabbed his arm, tugging at him and refusing to let him go. Jingze, don't leave me. Don't leave, she wailed. Gu Jingze closed his eyes, let go, Huiling. Once you get into a new relationship, you'll forget all about us. No, how can I forget? All these years, you were my one and only. You have become my life, Jingze. I don't care if you're sick, I don't care if I can't connect with you physically. I just want you by my side. I don't care if you're already married. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for everyone in the Gu family and the Mo family to die until there's no one who opposes our relationship. Really? Huiling, what nonsense are you spouting? Gu Jingze immediately halted her from cursing others. Knowing that she was saying all those in a state of panic, he sighed and held on to Mo Huiling to calm her down. Do you have any idea what you're doing? It's a fact that I'm married. I don't know when I will get divorced. Lin Che and I. It's not that simple. We are husband and wife. We are close because we have to live together. Thus, it's neither fair to you nor her. I know, Jingze. But without you, I will die. I just want to be able to see you, talk to you, and have your company, that's it. I don't want to ever leave you. I will wait for you my whole life. I won't get married or be with any other man. So, don't give up on me. I will really die. Gu Jingze looked at Mo Huiling's face drenched in tears. He knew she loved him very, very much. It was a pity. Why could he not touch her? Mo Huiling noticed that Gu Jingze's expression had softened and finally felt happy inside. She thought, since Lin Che could get so close to him without any problems, perhaps Gu Jingze's illness was much better. Why could she not touch him? Mo Huiling rushed forward when he was not noticing and kissed him on the lips. Gu Jingze only felt her rushing over. He pushed Mo Huiling away. He was not uncomfortable, but he pushed her away in disgust. Mo Huiling flopped onto her bed. She felt angry as she looked up sadly at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze was frantically wiping his mouth until he remembered that Mo Huiling was still there. He lowered his head and looked at her. Huiling, you. Mo Huiling wanted to strangle that Lin Che to death. Why was Lin Che able to get so close to Gu Jingze when she could not? Gu Jingze was also furious. He never thought that Mo Huiling would kiss him out of the blue. Huiling, I told you I'm married. How could you do that? She was aware that he had never been close to a woman. She was also aware that by doing that, his illness might act up. He could understand why she behaved haphazardly like this. However, he already told her that he was married, he could not be unfair to all three parties. Yet, she still did that. He was mad. He looked seriously at Mo Huiling before getting up and walking out. Mo Huiling was scared as she watched Gu Jingze leave like that. However, she was afraid to chase him. She was afraid that in a fit of anger, he would not want to see her again. Gu Jingze soon arrived at Chen Yucheng's place. He quickly brushed his teeth but his mouth still felt uncomfortable. He could not tell if it was his mind or his body playing tricks on him, but he really felt uncomfortable. He brushed his teeth again. It did not work. He brushed them again. Chen Yucheng heard the noise inside and knocked on the door. You've got to be kidding me. It's just a kiss and you're going to use up the whole tube of toothpaste. Your mouth will really get injured if you do that. Gu Jingze opened the door forcefully. His grave expression immediately shut Chen Yucheng up. Mr. Gu, I didn't mean that. I'm saying that since she is someone you're familiar with, it shouldn't be that bad, right? Why not control your mentality? Then, you'll be able to tell if you were mentally or physically uncomfortable, right? Gu Jingze suppressed his emotions. He wanted to know too, but he just felt too dirty and uncomfortable. When he thought about it, he wanted to brush his teeth again. However, it was strange that when he and Lin Che kissed, he only felt nostalgic. He would even swallow her saliva without hesitation. Chapter 83. Was it too intense? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 83. Was it too intense? Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Chen Yucheng observed Gu Jingze, I think that it's all in your head. Look, there is no rash. The medicine might have helped this time, but it's more likely that it's because you're still not used to touching women. Gu Jingze looked up at Chen Yucheng. Sigh. Yucheng, can you call other types of doctors over too? Other types. My expertise is not limited. I can still look at small matters like this. Whatever questions you have, Mr. Gu, you can just ask me. Gu Jingze raised his dark eyes and looked at Chen Yucheng in disdain. Still, he hesitated before saying, I have some questions regarding the private parts. There was a long pause. Chen Yucheng looked at Gu Jingze silently. Mr. Gu, was last night too intense? I understand that the two of you are newlyweds and it's your first romantic involvement, but it's not good for your body if you get too intense. You have to show some restraint for certain things. Chen Yucheng was surprised that he could get injured down there. Just how intense was it? Gu Jingze's face darkened. Lin Che and I do not have that kind of relationship. We've never been in the same bed. Chen Yucheng looked at Gu Jingze incredulously. You can't be serious. You haven't had a breakthrough. Gu Jingze glared at him silently. Chen Yucheng added, now, that is strange. I thought you two already. How could he control himself while living together with a woman? He should have been like a blazing fire. He suddenly sympathized Gu Jingze. This man must have restrained himself so much. He was so patient. Furthermore, he had seen Lin Che before. She was fair, clean, and looked inviting. It must not be easy for him to control himself when he had a beautiful little wife like that. Mr. Gu, I think it is also not good for your body to restrain yourself so much. Appropriate exercise will be greatly beneficial for your emotional health and your old illness. Okay, since there's not a lot to do here, your job is done. Gu Jingze was even more frustrated by his words. Chen Yucheng made a sound, but Gu Jingze had already turned his back and walked out. He could only shake his head helplessly. It was also a problem to be too honest and proper. Realistically speaking, outsiders would not say anything if a man like him had more than one woman at his side. He need not be so righteous. Gu Jingze knew that he did not want to disclose anything about his relationship with Lin Che, her feelings, and other small details to Chen Yucheng. He simply did not want to tell him. As if Lin Che was only his and he didn't want to share her with anyone else. The secrets between him and Lin Che belonged to him. He did not want to tell anyone. To him, it would be like letting other people take away a part of Lin Che. It was a strange feeling, but it was something that was deeply engraved in his heart and could not be removed. When it came to certain things, he just could not stop himself, even though he knew it was wrong. Just then, his phone rang. Gu Jingze looked down. It was Mo Huiling. After calming down, he decided to forgive Mo Huiling. He understood that her actions were out of her love for him. It was out of her character. He knew Mo Huiling since they were young. She was a little stubborn and had a bad temper sometimes, but she was not a bad person. He picked up the call. Jingze. Are you still angry? She sounded so pitiful. No, Gu Jingze sighed. Then. Where are you? I'm at Dr. Chen's, he told her truthfully. Mo Huiling knew he went to Qin Yuchen when he had a problem. He had been his personal doctor for many years. Mo Huiling said, I'm sorry. Did I make your illness act up? Honestly, this is my responsibility. I lost control and forgot about your illness. It's fine. Gu Jingze replied. Mo Huiling continued, this time, it's really my fault. I won't do it again. I know I shouldn't just kiss you like that. Huiling. It's just. I said I will get a divorce, but right now, I'm not divorced. I know. I will wait for you. I'll wait for the day until you part ways with her for good. You don't have to. No. I'll wait for you, Gu Jingze. I love you. I'll do anything for you. When he hung up, Gu Jingze felt a little guilty towards Mo Huiling. However, he was also helpless. On the other side. When the call ended, Mo Huiling threw the phone onto the floor, immediately smashing it into pieces. The maid at the side did not dare to look at Mo Huiling's face. Mo Huiling angrily thought, this Lin Che really deserved to die. She was clearly the rightful wife of Gu Jingze. She was clearly the admirable Mrs. Gu. Everybody in the circle knew how she was with Gu Jingze for so many years. But then, he married someone else. What an embarrassment. After all, Gu Jingze was the type of man that was hard to give up. She thought before that it was better to leave him if they could not live as husband and wife. But after getting to know so many men, none were good enough for her to give up on Gu Jingze. No one could compare to Gu Jingze or the Gu family. The Gu family was the cream of the crop of all families in this country. Gu Jingze was the cream of the crop of all men in this country. If not him, who else could give her the best life and make the entire country envy her? Gu Jingze returned home but did not see Lin Che, who usually laid on the sofa. Curious, he asked the maid, where is Madam? The maid replied, Madam said she was tired and went to sleep early. Gu Jingze suspected that something was not right. How could she be so tired this early? It did not fit Lin Che, who was usually a night owl. Then, he opened the door to the bedroom and entered. He saw Lin Che lying on the bed. She had really gone to sleep, but she was curled up like a prawn. It was different from her usual sleeping position. Gu Jingze's eyes moved around as he walked towards the bed. Are you asleep? He asked. The figure in the bed replied. Gu Jingze smiled, you were asleep but you can still answer. Are you talking in your sleep? Embarrassed, Lin Che opened her eyes. She felt Gu Jingze already lift up the blanket and casually settle himself beside her. You. Gu Jingze, who said you could come in? Lin Che knew that he had gone out with Mo Huiling. Although she did not know where he went, she was certain that they were together all this time. It's my bed. Why can't I get in? Gu Jingze's hands held down the struggling Lin Che. Chapter 84. I hope this is a good memory. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 84. I hope this is a good memory. Translator. Atlas Studios editor. Atlas Studios. Lin Che wanted to kick him away. Gu Jingze, don't make me force you out. Get off. Why, Lin Che? Are you angry? Gu Jingze held onto her hand as he looked at her. You're angry. Lin Che turned away her cheek. I'm not angry. Then why aren't you looking at me? Why should I look at you? Gu Jingze laughed. Then, are you jealous? Lin Che's ears were hot. She pushed Gu Jingze's hand away. I would be crazy to be jealous. Do you have dementia or something? Our marriage is fake. It's not like we are really husband and wife. Gu Jingze fell back on the bed and looked at Lin Che as he said, You're really not jealous. Lin Che snorted, Of course not. Lin Che sat up and glanced at Gu Jingze, It's all just an act. I know I'm good at it, but don't mistake it for reality. I'm a professional actress. Of course, I will do my best to play the role of a good wife. Gu Jingze took a deep breath. Somehow, he could not help but feel a little disappointed. Alright, Gu Jingze sat down and said, I thought that you were jealous and avoiding me on purpose. Ha, you're getting more narcissistic. Gu Jingze asked, Is there anything wrong with being narcissistic? Of course, Lin Che patted herself and also sat down. The two of them sat side by side on the bed. As the bed was huge, there was still a lot of space, even with them sitting there. Gu Jingze looked at her. Narcissism means loving oneself. If you can't even love yourself, how can you expect someone else to love you? Ha, bullshit, Lin Che looked at him. Big Boss Gu has plenty of people who love him, he doesn't need to love himself. Since when do I have many people loving me? Gu Jingze asked. Lin Che replied, That Miss Mo or something. I believe there's more than just her. The mention of Mo Huiling reminded Gu Jingze of the complicated events that happened. He was starting to feel vexed again. The original plan was simple. He and Lin Che would marry and agree to not disrupt each other's lives and maintain a good relationship until they divorced. However, the situation has progressed a lot further. Gu Jingze said, My relationship with Huiling is not what you think it is. What do I think it is? Lin Che tilted her head and looked at him. Gu Jingze continued, Huiling and I have known each other since we were young. We knew each other for almost 30 years, but we have never ever crossed that line. I promise you that as long as I'm married to you, I will never step over the boundaries with her. I'll only treat her as a friend and as a younger sister. Lin Che hastily said, That's not necessary. You don't have to promise me anything, really. I won't get angry. You were originally with her anyway. However, she did feel grateful that he wanted to make that promise. Even though the promise may not mean anything, it meant that he still respected her and was considerate of her feelings. Lin Che looked at him, You don't have to do that for me. We already agreed to stay out of each other's personal lives. Gu Jingze turned to her, We did agree at the start, but we are already married after all. I don't think it's fair for you. You're only 23 and this is your first marriage. You shouldn't be living with all this mess. I may not be able to give you a complete marriage, but at least I won't betray you in other aspects. At least these memories won't be so bad. Lin Che lifted her head and stared at him. She laughed nervously, No, this was all because of me. Still, I am really thankful for you. Won't Miss Mo be angry though? From the moment I chose to marry you, she was angry. I know it's also not easy for her, but we had no choice but to marry. Lin Che said, Then why don't you tell her that your family threatened you with her and you were forced to marry me for her sake? Forget it. There's no point in telling her that. I told her from the start that she had the choice to leave me and start a new life. I would have accepted it because this was all my fault too. If I told her, it would be even more difficult for her to let go. I'd rather she have the choice to leave and live her own life. Lin Che blamed herself even more, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. At the beginning, I wanted to blame you and hate you, but after thinking it through, I realized that the both of us were caught in this marriage. Both of us were forced and there was nothing to blame on you, Gu Jingze added, You're still young. You could have experienced love with another man but because of our marriage, you had to give up all of these. So you don't have to apologize to me. This is not because of you. I guess it's just a twist of fate that led us to today. Lin Che looked down and yawned. Hugging her knees, she was beginning to feel drowsy. Gu Jingze said, so if you have anything you need, just tell me. I'll be happy to fulfill your requests. It's okay, really. You don't need to make it up to me. I have gained a lot now, I can't ask for a perfect life where I get everything I want. I have a place to sleep, countless people looking after me, and time to focus on my career. I'm already satisfied. She gently laid down on the bed and covered herself with the blanket as she said softly, you need to communicate nicely with Mo Huiling. She is a girl, after all. And girls just want to be coddled. All that you said to me just now. Let's leave it at that. If you told her this with the word marriage loosely hanging from your lips, you'll be dead. Gu Jingze said, when two people are together, they should be frank with each other. Oh, no wonder. Even though you're so handsome and rich, you have just one Miss Mo who can't leave you alone. You totally deserve to not be able to find a wife. You don't even know how to coddle a girl. When a girl says no, don't you ever take it for real. When a girl says that she's not angry with you, she's lying. When a girl says don't buy something because it's too expensive, she'll kill you if you really don't buy it. Gu Jingze said, my psychology class did mention these before. Talking to girls with psychology. If psychological research can fully understand a girl, the subject is not a girl at all. If you use psychological theories to coddle a girl, you're destined to be forever alone. Gu Jingze frowned as he said, is it that complicated? But why do girls want to be coddled? As he turned to look at Lin Che, she was already lying on the bed with her eyes closed. Her breathing had already slowed down to a steady rhythm. How heartless. Gazing at her pure sleeping face, he could not resist gently sweeping the hair on her forehead to the side. He lifted the blanket, leaned on one side, and lied down next to her. Looking sideways at her clear face, he felt a world of calmness. His heart also felt at peace as he lay there and closed his eyes, slowly drifting off to sleep. Chapter 85. Deeply infected by her. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 85. Deeply infected by her. Translator. Atlas Studios editor. Atlas Studios. The entire night, Gu Jingze slept exceptionally well. The next thing he knew, it was already daylight. When he woke up, he discovered that Lin Che's feet were right in front of him. She had both legs on his body. Her exceptional sleeping posture made her sleep horizontally. Strangely enough, he did not feel her legs move at all the previous night. Lin Che, who was too tired from yesterday, was still in a daze. What? What time is it? Lin Che scratched at her feet drowsily. One leg was plopped onto Gu Jingze's face. Gu Jingze's face darkened as he immediately sat up. Looking speechlessly at Lin Che, he exclaimed, Lin Che, what are you doing? Lin Che suddenly looked up to see Gu Jingze sitting on the bed. He looked awful, as if he just swallowed a fly. Sorry, she scratched her head and took her phone to see. It was only 6 in the morning. She sprawled back onto the bed. My God, it's so early. Why did you wake me up? The early bird catches the worm. Also, waking up early makes you feel more energized, it's good for thinking. Gu Jingze placed his feet on the floor and entered the bathroom with vigor. Lin Che took one look and thought that he was commendable. No matter how late he slept the previous night, he would always wake up at 6 and not a minute later. He always got up immediately and then came back at night to continue working until it was late before resting. Lin Che thought that he was definitely not getting the required 7 hours of sleep daily. He probably got 6 hours at most. Only during filming, Lin Che would not sleep for days. However, whenever she had the chance, she certainly slept like a log. She thought that it must be tough for Gu Jingze. Lying there, Lin Che could not recall what they were doing the night before they ended up together on the bed. Since nothing happened anyway, she soon fell back asleep. Gu Jingze returned only to find that Lin Che had gone back into deep sleep. This time, her whole body was flipped over and she was lying face down. Gu Jingze shook his head helplessly. He took the blanket and carefully tucked her in before heading out. In the afternoon, Lin Che watched as the maid washed the car. She thought that it would be fun to join in. The maid saw Lin Che approach and immediately put down the water, afraid that it would get onto her. Lin Che said nonchalantly, "It's all right. I want to help you guys wipe. Back at my home, I used to do this with my nanny. I do an exceptionally professional job. Madam, you really don't have to. It's okay. I'm the madam, so listen to me." Hearing what she said, the maid had no other choice. When Gu Jingze returned, he put down his clothes and asked, "Where's madam?" The maid looked hesitantly to the backyard and said, "Madam is washing the car." Gu Jingze entered the backyard and saw Lin Che vigorously wiping the back of the car. Her actions were almost professional. Watching her happily working hard, Gu Jingze shook his head. Half of her skirt was wet and sweat droplets formed on her face. However, she was not afraid of looking unglamorous or afraid of getting tanned. Exposed to the sun, she was like her own ray of sunshine. Anyone looking at her would have cheered up instantly. He seemed to have been infected by her as his mood was lifted. The maid noticed Gu Jingze was not unhappy and was actually smiling. He looked like he was in a good mood now. She said beside him, "Madam never put on any airs with us. She even helped us with our work. She is such a nice person." Gu Jingze turned to her and smiled before walking over to Lin Che. "What are you doing?" he asked curiously. Lin Che looked up, "I'm working. Labor is my pride." Gu Jingze smiled, "How do you know how to clean cars?" Lin Che replied, "The Lin family has cars too, okay? Back there, I used to clean them. I even know how to wax." "Are you that good?" "Of course. I know many things." Lin Che proudly brushed her nose with her thumb and left bubbles on the tip of her nose. Gu Jingze laughed and reached over to wipe them off. Lin Che rubbed her nose adorably and looked at Gu Jingze, revealing an enchanting smile. Gu Jingze felt his heart beat faster. Without any thoughts, he gazed at her face. There was a warm, fuzzy feeling. Ah, that's the good thing about branded cars. Once I'm done cleaning this, it'll be as good as new. Beautiful, Lin Che looked at the Porsche worth millions of dollars. Gu Jingze suddenly realized that she did not have her own car. He asked, "Do you know how to drive?" "Me? No." Gu Jingze said, "Right, you're too dumb." It was pointless to ask. "Hey, I'm busy keeping myself alive. I don't have time to learn, okay?" Gu Jingze smiled and thought that she would not look nice driving this Porsche. She would look great in a smaller car. "You should get a car and start learning. It'll be much more convenient for you." Lin Che replied, "Yes. I'll get one when I've saved up enough." She was earning quite a lot now. But even if she were to save up, she could only afford an average car. Gu Jingze declared, "Fine. We would have to wait forever for you to save that much. Let's go buy you a car." "Ha. Now." "Yes, this is great timing because I'm free now." "Hurry up." "Oh no, it's too much. I still have to use your money." "Are you not going to buy it then?" Lin Che's eyes lit up. Of course, she would take the opportunity. She laughed hastily, "No, buy. Of course, I'll buy." Gu Jingze said quietly, "Can you control yourself?" "Forget that. I have to think about my future after we divorce. Although I'm using your money now, I still have to fend for myself in the future." Gu Jingze frowned. He suddenly disliked how she mentioned a divorce so casually. Money. Minded. It's not like it's the first time I only thought about money. You better get used to it. Gu Jingze brought Lin Che to the 4S shop. The shop owner saw Gu Jingze arrive and quickly went out to greet him personally. He looked respectfully at the two of them. Mr. Gu, are you getting a car for this lady? Yes. This is my wife, he turned to introduce her. The shop owner was shocked and quickly said, no wonder I found Madam so familiar. Of course, she looked familiar because she was getting famous recently. The shop owner asked, what type of car does Mrs. Gu like? Lin Che had no opinion on this, so she turned to look expectantly at Gu Jingze. Chapter 86. The So-Called Enemies on a Narrow Road. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 86. The So-Called Enemies on a Narrow Road. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Gu Jingze thought for a while before saying, one that is not too expensive since it's for a girl. Lin Che quickly added, right. Not too expensive or other people will get jealous. Gu Jingze browsed through the catalog and said, this will be good. Get a yellow one so it'll be bright and you won't get lost on the road. Gu Jingze looked at her mockingly. Lin Che's face darkened, I'm not a pig. I won't get lost on the road. As she said that, she looked down at the catalog and saw that Gu Jingze was referring to a Porsche 911. She was shocked. She thought when he meant something not too expensive, he would be talking about a car worth about 200,000 yuan. She did not expect his definition of not too expensive to be. Gu Jingze, isn't this too expensive? Lin Che asked. Gu Jingze replied, why would this be too expensive? Lin Che said, this is a few million. Is that not expensive? Gu Jingze said, if that was true, then hiring a chauffeur for you would be actually even more expensive. Ha! Gu Jingze continued, chauffeurs for the Gu family have an annual income of 3 million yuan. Lin Che initially thought that they were living hard lives and that he was always just so responsible and treated her well. Now she knew. They were rich people too. Gu Jingze had already gestured for the staff to order the car. The shop owner gleefully proceeded to make the order. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che and said, you wait here for a while. I'm going to pick up the car and check it for you. Lin Che said, I'll go too. Gu Jingze turned around and lightly touched her nose, be good and wait here. The car needs to be test-driven. If it's not safe, it's best that you not be there. Lin Che could not help but feel embarrassed when he touched her nose. She looked on as Gu Jingze left before she turned back. With nothing else to do, she walked around the shop. This was a chain store for luxury cars. Besides selling cars, there was a supermarket selling car parts at the side. Catered to wealthy customers, the shop was styled to look like a posh cafe at a hotel lobby. There were cushioned seats everywhere and coffee tables with beautiful decor on top of them. Lin Che noticed that some snacks were placed on the table and she quickly took some. She might as well eat them. The staff was courteous to Lin Che, knowing that she came with Gu Jingze. 3 or 4 of them were shadowing her, ready if she ended up needing them. They were also looking enviously at her. Although Lin Che was already a star, she acted in only one television series and it was in ancient settings. Those old costumes might have made it difficult to recognize her, so the staff did not know who she was exactly. Just as Lin Che was grabbing snacks, she heard a familiar, classy voice ringing from behind. She immediately turned to look. Lin Li, to make you come here with me. This Qing, I have no idea what he's so busy with. I wanted to buy a car and it's unfortunate that you had to accompany me instead. Chen Meili, a classy-looking madam of the Qin family, was being held by Lin Li as they entered the place. Beside them were several other attentive staff. Everybody recognized Lin Li and knew that Chen Meili was a madam of the Qin family. They tended to both of them with great care and respect. Lin Che did not expect to meet Lin Li and Chen Meili here. The mother and daughter-in-law were here to buy a car too. Like enemies on a narrow road. Just then, Chen Meili raised her head and saw Lin Che standing there. Isn't that Lin Che? I'm not seeing things, right? Is that her? Lin Li also looked up and saw Lin Che. She was surprised. Chen Meili knew Lin Che since she was young, as Lin Che and Qin Qing went to the same school. Lin Che would always come over and play with Qin Qing, but Chen Meili always disliked Lin Che and wished that she would not keep playing with him. Chen Meili walked over. Some people still did not recognize Lin Che. Looking from afar, it looked like her. As she got closer, it looked like something had changed about her. Lin Che had become much prettier, as if she had blossomed. She used to be shabby like a small family jade, but now, she looked natural and pure. Her clothes were elegant. Her whole body seemed to be surrounded by a clear stream. She looked very good. However, Chen Meili still disliked her. Lin Che, what are you doing here? Are you buying a car? There was a hint of mockery in her tone because she knew that the cars here were not affordable for just anybody. Lin Che looked at Chen Meili. She was older after all. She held herself back. Yes, Auntie Qin. What a coincidence. You two carry on, I'm going over there to look. Hey, Lin Che. I still want to talk to you. Why are you running away? Chen Meili stopped Lin Che in her tracks. Lin Che turned back. Chen Meili tested her. Have you met our Qin Qing recently? Lin Che replied, no, really never. Or are you faking it? Chen Meili scoffed. Lin Che frowned and noticed the hatred in Chen Meili's voice. Auntie Qin, if you have something to say, just shoot. Chen Meili was unhappy to see Lin Che holding her head high with disdain on her face. She said, Lin Che, I heard you got into trouble the other time and were brought to the police station. They said that it was our Qin Qing who helped get you out. So it was about that. Qin Qing did help that time. Lin Che turned to look at Chen Meili and said, yes, he helped me. Chen Meili looked at her and hit the table angrily. Lin Che, don't mind Auntie's words, but Qin Qing is already engaged to your sister. He is now your brother. In law, Lin Che stared at Chen Meili strangely. And what's wrong with my brother in law helping me? You. Chen Meili looked at Lin Che scornfully. I've been aware of your feelings toward Qin Qing for a long time, but I'm warning you, you don't deserve our Qin Qing. He will never like an illegitimate child like you. What's gotten into you now? Just because you're a celebrity and you have money, you think you can start to think about Qin Qing again. Well, I can tell you now. No door is open for you. Lin Che listened to her ridicule and smiled silently. At the side, Lin Li tried to look humble in front of her future mother-in-law, but she could not conceal the smugness in her gentle eyes. Looking at Lin Che with a smirk on her mouth, she was enjoying this exchange. Auntie Qin, you must be mistaken. Qin Qing is just a friend to me and even more so my relative now. Although Qin Qing is a good guy, he's nothing exceptional. All girls may like him, but I have my own boyfriend now. I have no interest in Qin Qing at all. Chapter 87. Seeing her unhappy made him unhappy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 87. Seeing her unhappy made him unhappy. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Chen Meili laughed coldly while looking at Lin Che. You can fool others, but you think you can fool me. I've seen you before when you were young and always doing homework with Qin Qing. Our pure and innocent Qin Qing said you were a good person, but I already knew your motive. Lin Che was stunned. Bringing up her childhood made her embarrassed and sad. The situation may have been the same, but people have changed over time. Lin Che's face darkened slightly as she looked at Chen Meili. I treated him well because I had a motive. Nothing good comes out of an illegitimate child like you. You're untrue to Qin Qing. You saw that he was too pure and innocent and you thought that he would be an easy target for you. You thought that you could get hold of Qin Qing and live a good life. Ah, I know your wretched little idea all too well. I have walked more than the bridge you crossed. It's too bad that the Qin family is not that easy to enter. Lin Che bit her lip and clenched her fists. Thinking about her past feelings, her face turned pale and her lips started to become green. Her past feelings about Qin Qing were something that she could never forget or ignore. Especially when everybody else could tell how she felt but Qin Qing had no clue. She felt pathetic. Chen Meili realized that she was just sitting there drinking coffee but with no car in sight. She smiled at the staff and said, "Hey, you guys really don't know how to look at people. Does she look like someone who can afford a luxury car? She's probably only here to be a freeloader. She thinks she's a celebrity, so she can afford a luxury car. Ah, judging by her, can she even drive a good car? Does she even deserve one? Auntie Qin, don't go overboard." Lin Che stood up and glared angrily at Chen Meili. Chen Meili held Lin Li's hand for support as she got up and proudly walked over to Lin Che's side. She said, "Why don't you take a good look at yourself first? Let's go, Lin Li. This place has been tainted with the putrid smell of poverty. It stinks so bad." "At least it smells better than an old woman like you," Lin Che retaliated. Chen Meili was shocked and turned around in a huff. She scrunched up her face, making the wrinkles more obvious. You. She was so furious that she wanted to lunge at her. The staff hurriedly held her back. Chen Meili went away still cursing and swearing. Lin Che sat down frustrated. She watched Lin Li leave as she turned back and smiled in ridicule. Although Lin Che managed to agitate Chen Meili, she was still in an ugly mood. Gu Jingze entered from behind and saw Lin Che sitting there looking sorrowful. His initially neutral face suddenly turned cold. His deep eyes were clouded. "Lin Che," he called from behind. Lin Che turned around in surprise. "Is the car all ready?" Gu Jingze looked at her. What were they saying just now? He could see them from afar but he could not hear their conversation. Lin Che forced a smile. "It's nothing." Gu Jingze felt uncomfortable seeing her try to put on a strong front. His expression grew sullen. He stared at Lin Che and did not make a move. Lin Che said, "I'm already used to it. Whatever nonsense she says doesn't affect me. If I really fought with her, the headlines tomorrow would all be about how I bullied an old lady." She spoke as she forced her smile. It did not look good. She always had a strong front, but that smile somehow made Gu Jingze's heart prickly. It was as if seeing her unhappy only made him unhappy too. He tightened his lips and pulled Lin Che's hand. He looked at her. "Do you want to see them unhappy?" "Of course I do. But what are you going to do?" Gu Jingze let her hand rest on her arm and smiled faintly at her. However, with that strong face, Lin Che could tell that he was in a different mood. She felt that his face was a lot darker than usual and his eyes had become abysmal like a dark sky. "Nothing much. I'm just going to let you watch a good show." The corners of his mouth curled up into a smirk that any woman would find sexy. It harbored a sense of mischief and calamity. Before Lin Che could react, Gu Jingze was already bringing her with him and walking for over 10 minutes. She overheard someone say, "That person just damaged our sir's car." Lin Che listened to Chen Meili's sharp voice that followed, "Don't you know who I am? We couldn't have damaged that car. We don't touch cars like that. It's only a toy worth a few million. We." At that moment, Gu Jingze held Lin Che's hand and casually walked over. His deep voice resonated like a cello. "Who damaged the car I just bought?" Lin Che saw the Gu family's security guard walking over. "Sir, this lady just damaged our car and she is trying to get away. We've called the police and are waiting for them to handle this." but she's making noise and refusing to admit that she did it. Lin Li and Chen Meili turned around to see Gu Jingze dressed all in black. Noble and elegant, he was like a god. Chen Meili was shocked, especially more so to see Lin Che actually holding onto his arm and standing right beside him. Lin Li's eyes initially lit up but it turned to jealousy as she looked at Lin Che. This Lin Che was standing beside Gu Jingze. What an eyesore. Chen Meili was shocked at first, but she saw Gu Jingze only take a brief glance at her. He could not be bothered to look at her again and lazily said, "Since the police are coming, let them handle it. What are you guys making noise for?" Chen Meili snorted loudly and again exclaimed, "The Qin family doesn't care for a car like this that's only a few million. Why would I even want to touch it? Also, you think calling the police will solve the problem? I just want to see what the police can do with me. Furthermore, I don't believe you will still be able to put the blame on me." Gu Jingze's expression was indifferent. It made Chen Meili feel even more guilty. When she finished, Gu Jingze grunted. Without even looking at Chen Meili in the eye, he said to his security guard, "Tell the police that I dislike this person very much. She is in the wrong but is refusing to repent. Let the police handle this properly and have them at least lock her up for a few days before she disrupts the peace again." Chen Meili panicked. Her face immediately turned purple. She wanted to say something but Lin Li stopped her. She looked at Gu Jingze jealously. Although she was reluctant, she quickly whispered in Chen Meili's ear, "Mother. This is Gu Jingze. That Gu Jingze from the Gu family." The color drained from Chen Meili's face. The thick foundation on her face could not even cover her expression. This man was Gu Jingze. She was starting to feel scared. She had heard about Gu Jingze before. However, looking at Lin Che, she refused to believe it. How could that be? Lin Li must be mistaken. How could a little pebble like Lin Che know Gu Jingze? Chapter 88. Helping you teach these people a lesson. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 88. Helping you teach these people a lesson. Translator. Atlas Studios editor. Atlas Studios. However, she could see tall and large bodyguards standing behind them, which made her feel intimidated. She still could not believe it. Looking indignantly at Lin Che, she exclaimed, "Lin Che, you little slut. Just because you got some money now, you're setting me up. When Qin finds out, he'll definitely come after you. Little slut." Gu Jingze gave a cold look at the bodyguard at his side. The bodyguard immediately reached out his hand and hit Chen Meili's face with a loud slap. Chen Meili's cheek burned. The disbelief on her face became more obvious. This guy dared to hit her. She had never been hit in all her years. You dare to hit me? You better believe that our Qin family won't let you off." She lunged at him but was blocked by the huge bodyguard. Gu Jingze's face was expressionless. He said without a single drop of warmth in his voice, "Sorry, my bodyguard got too agitated. Perhaps, it's because I mentioned that if anybody offends Miss Lin, their mouths should be ripped off. They don't have a lot of manners as they only know how to follow my orders. Madam Qin, I'm truly sorry. I will go back and lecture them." Chen Meili's whole body shook. Her face became even darker. "You! How dare you insult me? You think the Qin family can be provoked so easily? We won't let you off." Gu Jingze smiled faintly, "Madam Qin, I'm sure that the Qin family are reasonable people, right? You damaged the car I bought for Lin Che and went all out to insult her, but you say that I'm insulting you. You're framing me. I didn't damage the car. I want to call the police. You're tainting me." Chen Meili's expression changed. Gu Jingze looked lazily at the side, "Just right. Are the police here yet? This madam wants to make a report." "Sir, the police have arrived." Just then, a group of men clad in police uniform briskly walked over from behind. Chen Meili saw them and hurriedly said, "Police, they are framing me and stopping me from leaving. One of them even hit me, I need my injury assessed." The police looked at Chen Meili in a puzzled manner. Chen Meili added, "I'm the madam of the Qin family. I want to see your chief. He must know my husband. My husband is the Qin family's chairman, Qin Maosheng." However, the police only looked at Chen Meili and quickly went to Gu Jingza's side. "Mr. Gu, sorry for the inconvenience. What happened here?" Gu Jingza glanced towards Chen Meili. "I don't know what happened, but when I got here, this woman was acting all crazy. She said that she's from the Qin family, that nobody dares to hit her, and she even scratched my new car just now." The police took one look at Chen Meili and said, "Madam Qin, you are in the wrong here. We have to follow the law. You damaged someone's property, so we need to take you back with us for further investigation. Please come with us." You. Chen Meili saw that the police wanted to take her away and she panicked. She glared at Gu Jingza. "I don't believe you can turn the world upside down. So what if you're Gu Jingza? You guys let go of me. If you guys touch me, I won't let you off." Gu Jingza smiled coldly. "But I can turn the world upside down right here. If you don't believe me, Madam Qin, you can test it out yourself." Chen Meili stared at his nonchalant behavior, defeated by his words. It was still so hard to believe. Did he really have the whole world in his hand? These people did not care about the Qin family's status and were still taking her away. At the side, Lin Li dared to not say a word as she stared at the arrogant Gu Jingza until her eyes almost popped out. She was busy pulling Chen Meili, looking up pitifully, popping out her chest, and purposely revealing a part of her shoulders. Fortunately, she had put on her best makeup today. She looked at the tall and mighty Gu Jingza with a hint of greed. She could not control the admiration on her face. She never thought that she would cross paths with a top-caliber person like that. The Qin family was already considered an untouchable B.lister. Anyone would already be envious and in awe. However, compared to the Gu family, the Qin family was nothing. After all, the Gu family was the cream of the crop. A layperson would never be able to get to there. One could only dream of it. But today, a man like him was right in front of her. He was even so good-looking. How could anyone not fall for him? She fluttered her eyelids and made her voice extra seductive. "Mr. Gu, I hope you will let Andi go on my behalf. She was just careless and she didn't mean to do it." Chen Meili thought that Lin Li was so nice, willing to offend Gu Jingza on her behalf. She looked at Lin Li gratefully. Gu Jingza did not bother to look at Lin Li for even 1 second. She was deliberately putting on her charm, but he dismissed it and scornfully asked, "Who are you?" Lin Li was taken aback. I'm Lin Che's sister. We met once before. I'm also a celebrity like Lin Che." Lin Li took a step forward. But the bodyguard stepped in front of her and blocked her from getting closer. Gu Jingza snorted and looked at Lin Li. "Sorry, I don't know celebrities. Lin Che has no sister. I've never heard of her." As he said that, he naturally grabbed Lin Che's waist and made them appear intimate. Following that, he turned to the police. "I'll let you guys handle the rest of these people." From behind, the shop staff hastily asked Gu Jingza, "Mr. Gu, what about this car? Shall I help you cover the scratch?" Gu Jingza replied, "How can I still give this damaged thing to my woman? Especially when it was touched by someone else. I don't want Lin Che to feel dirty in this car. Scrap it and help me order another car that's exactly like this. Deliver it straight to my place." Everyone there listened in surprise and gazed at Gu Jingza, who nonchalantly walked off with Lin Che without turning back. Everyone except those taking care of Chen Meili soon cleared the area too. The staff looked on with great admiration. It really was not an exaggeration, Gu Jingza was amazing. He was too handsome and too charming. That Lin Che was way too lucky to be able to be by his side. Lin Li gritted her teeth and stared hatefully at Lin Che's back. She wanted to rip Lin Che into pieces. When she looked at Gu Jingze, she was in a daze. Her eyes were glossed over in confusion and chaos. It was her first time seeing such a charming man, especially one so powerful. He was definitely the country's unrivaled wealthiest. Chen Meili was mad. She was still in shock even when she was being taken away. She let herself be played by that little brat, Lin Che. The worst part was that Lin Che had Gu Jingze at her side. She had no way of taking Lin Che down. Chapter 89. He wanted to give her more happiness. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 89. He wanted to give her more happiness. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Gu Jingze took Lin Che away from the place. She turned to look behind and saw that everyone had left. It looked like Chen Meili was really being taken to the police station. She let out her breath and tilted her head in surprise at Gu Jingze. In Lin Che's eyes, the Qin family were already a good family. Otherwise, Lin Li would not want to get close to Qin Qing and finally marry him. Lin Che said, "Wow, how did the car get scratched? Did they really do it? How did you manage it?" Gu Jingze lowered his head and said, "All of this doesn't matter. It's just a little game. If you want someone to falter, there's always a way. Is that so? More importantly, I have the ability to put the blame on her and leave her speechless because I am Gu Jingze." Lin Che looked at him in wonder. It's so good to be rich, but is it really okay to do that? She was worried about offending the Qin family, which might potentially cause problems. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che. The effort I put into making so much money is for moments like this, so I don't get bullied by anybody. Lin Che looked at him with bright eyes. She did not realize his hegemony could be so powerful. Her heart bubbled with admiration. Lin Che worshipped Gu Jingze even more as she looked at him. Her eyes were sparkling. Gu Jingze felt accomplished when he saw how she pleased. She looked like a kitten showered with affection. Especially being worshipped by her, he felt that no matter how taxing it was to run the family business, it was all worth it. It felt satisfying, like a husband getting praised by his wife after a hard day's work. Lin Che was a strange person. Even by worshipping just a dog's leg, she looked extremely sincere. Lin Che asked, "But are you really going to scrap the car? It's worth a few million. If you don't want it, why not just save it for me?" Gu Jingze looked at her speechlessly. "Can't you just listen to me? When I say that I don't want it, it means that I don't want it. It's only a few million. I'll get a new one for you." Lin Che stuck her tongue out. She felt that it was a waste. Looking at Gu Jingze, she said, "I just feel that just because of some scum, we're wasting a good car. The poor car is innocent after all, right?" Heh heh. Gu Jingze looked into her eyes silently. She was finding excuses when she really just could not bear to let it go. Gu Jingze said, "Fine, we won't scrap the car. You can have it. Sell it or use it. It's yours." Lin Che's face was gleeful. "Wow, for real? Gu Jingze, you are too kind." Lin Che tugged at Gu Jingze and shook his arm. She was so happy that if she had a tail, it would have been wagging left and right. Gu Jingze looked at her, smile and patted her head. He felt his anger slowly dissipate just by seeing her happy. Sadly, the good atmosphere got disrupted, Lin Che said. Gu Jingze said, "Let's take the car back first." The car was beautiful. Lin Che caressed it and said, "This car is the same as the one just now." "Yes, it's the same." "Then there's no point in having two cars. I might as well sell one." "Where can I sell it? If I put it online, people might think that it's a stolen car." Gu Jingze replied, "I'll ask someone to help you sell it." "Really, Gu Jingze. You are really the best. Lin Che smiled until her eyes formed two lines like crescent moons. She looked pretty. Gu Jingze shook his head. He must have been the only man to ever give a gift and tear it apart for someone. If he was a sucker, he was a really big one. He knew that she only thought about money, but he could not wait to put gifts into her hands. Gu Jingze asked, "Is that all you can say?" Lin Che said, "What did you expect? You have so much money that even if I gave you money, you wouldn't care." Gu Jingze brought his face close to hers. "How about a kiss to show your sincerity?" Lin Che blushed and pushed his face away. "Go away, don't joke around." Gu Jingze said, "If you're not willing, then I'll kiss you as my payment." "Get lost." Gu Jingze looked at her and laughed. He said playfully, "Then you have to thank me." "But you have everything you need," Lin Che said. Gu Jingze suggested, "Why not you cook a meal for me?" Lin Che thought about it and then looked at him reluctantly. "You dare to eat my cooking?" "Of course. I'll warn you first that it's going to be terrible." "It's fine. I will accept it." Gu Jingze never really saw how she was like when she did something, so he was anticipating it. Lin Che pursed her lips and coughed dryly. "Okay. I'll cook for you." Gu Jingze nodded his head in satisfaction. Lin Che was still trying to dissuade him. "I'm telling you, you're going to regret it." Gu Jingze did not believe that she could cook up poison by following a cookbook. But to be safe, he decided that it was better to select a simple recipe for her. Otherwise, with Lin Che's stupidity, he might end up with boiled water. That would not be fun. At night, they drove the car home. Lin Che immediately started taking pictures of the car with all sorts of props and angles. Gu Jingze frowned as she pranced around. He said from the side, "What are you taking pictures for?" Lin Che said, "This is my very first luxury car in all my life and it's worth a few million. Of course, I'm taking pictures to show off." Gu Jingze said, "If you want to show off, just take a picture of the invoice." "That is obnoxious." "Then take a picture of the model number." "Looks like you don't know how to humble.brag." "That's so boring." To humble.brag you need to show that it's expensive but make people feel like you're not doing it on purpose. Taking a picture of the model number is not very subtle. She really knew how to show off. Gu Jingze watched as she finally found a good angle. She looked like she was taking the flower pot in front, but she had the entire car in the frame. Did she suddenly get more intelligent? Lin Che looked at her photo in a satisfied way before sending it to her WeChat and typing, "Just bought new flowers. I better take delicate care to let them grow." Gu Jingze went over to take a look. "These flowers have already bloomed and they're all grown up. Do they really need your care?" "Get lost. Aren't you lying?" "This is a white lie. You wouldn't understand." Lin Che soon saw people already starting to comment below her post, "Wow, a luxury car. Must be a few grand." Lin Che muttered, "Bull crap. A few grand. How does this person even see?" Another person commented, "That's a nice car indeed, but you took this picture in a yard. Which district did you get a house in?" Another person also observed, "This yard is obviously huge. You caught a fortune. Which old man is it? His house is so posh." Lin Che did not expect these people to look at the photo so meticulously. She stood there and happily said, "See, all these people are experienced. They are so good that they can certainly see what's in the background. A subtle photo like this and they could tell that the yard is big. TSK. Gu Jingze observed her happy face. Standing there, his own lips instinctively curled up. This Lin Che got happy over a simple thing like that. Just by giving her a little bit of satisfaction, she was so elated that she blossomed like a flower. It was as if happiness was so simple. Gu Jingze wanted to give her more and more. He wanted to make her happy forever. Chapter 90. Overwhelmed by her gentleness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 90. Overwhelmed by her gentleness. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Lin Li also posted on WeChat too. In her home, she saw Lin Che's post of her own car and was unhappy. As they were in the same circle, they had many mutual friends. She saw them commenting below on how big her yard was. Lin Li deduced that it might be Gu Jingza's house. Gu Jingza's house must be enormous. What a pity that the little slut was living there. It was too good for her. Lin Che touched her own car and wanted to drive it so badly. Unfortunately, she never had the chance to learn how to drive. Lin Che turned to Gu Jingza and asked, on average, how long does it take to learn to drive? Gu Jingza replied, if you want to learn, I can teach you right now. It should be easy to pick up. Really? Driving is actually not that hard. Come. We'll go on an empty road. I'll teach you there. That's great. Lin Che jumped up and down as she tugged on Gu Jingza's hand. Soon, they were outside with Gu Jingza behind the wheel. The sports car was small, so Gu Jingza felt slightly uncomfortable sitting inside. Lin Che was embarrassed as she looked at the 1.9 meters tall Gu Jingza all crammed up. No wonder he usually drove a sedan and not a small car like this. Gu Jingza stopped the car and was patiently explaining all the functions of the car. Lin Che frowned as she listened and asked Gu Jingza, is driving really simple to learn? Of course. After my instructor explained everything to me once, I was already driving us all around. With how intelligent you are, I think you will learn in half a day. Lin Che nodded, feeling confident about herself. However, only a few minutes into it. Lin Che, that's for the gas lid, not the accelerator. Lin Che, let go of the steering wheel first. Lin Che, where are you turning to? Do you want to die? Gu Jingza was getting stricter each time he scolded her. However, the more she got scolded, the more she panicked. In the end, she looked at him speechlessly. Gu Jingza, can you not raise your voice? You're making me nervous. Gu Jingza frowned deeply and looked at the woman in front of him. He must have overestimated her intelligence. I've never come across a woman so stupid like you. So what if I'm stupid? Lin Che challenged. You. Gu Jingza had really never seen such a stupid woman. He had also never seen a woman as noisy and shameless as her. In any case, he simply thought that she was a truly unique specimen. She was so infuriating that it might have been better to just strangle her right there and then. Can you please coordinate your hands and legs? Gu Jingza could no longer hold his patience. Lin Che looked at him blankly, I just can't coordinate them, what can I do? I told you not to yell. You may be a genius but not everyone is like you. You seriously? Gu Jingza muttered, I was wrong just now. You need a month at least. Lin Che glared at him helplessly and said, if you're not happy to teach me, fine. You don't have to yell at me. I don't care about your lessons. Gu Jingza took a deep breath and turned around to hear Lin Che continue, your Mo Huiling must be clever. She probably can learn it in one go. Why don't you go teach her? Gu Jingza halted and looked at Lin Che's brooding face. His teeth made loud grinding sounds in his mouth. He stared intensely at her, then opened the car door, and got out. Without so much as looking back, he took big strides forward and even slammed the door shut as he walked away. It was over. He was really angry. Lin Che was also annoyed at herself. Why did she have to provoke him and mention Mo Huiling? He was not teaching Mo Huiling, he was teaching her. If he could, he would obviously choose to kill two birds with one stone and be with Mo Huiling. Why would he be here wasting time with her? She acknowledged that she was bad in this aspect. She was stupid, uncoordinated, and had a bad memory. Especially when she looked at all the controls in the car, she felt like fainting. She wanted to learn quickly too, but she just couldn't help it. After a while, Gu Jingze felt Lin Che catch up from behind and grab onto his waist. She said to him, "Gu Jingze, don't be angry. I was just trying to have fun. You can't be really mad over something like this." Gu Jingze's expression hardened and was stiff like a jade stone. Although finely architectured and flawless, it was icy with no warmth. Lin Che held his hand as she ran to face him. "Don't leave, Gu Jingze. I'm talking to you." Gu Jingze shook her hand away. "Let go. Gu Jingze. Let me go," he ordered monotonously. Lin Che gritted her teeth and tugged at Gu Jingze. "No, I'm not leaving you." She stretched out her arms and blocked his path. She said, "Hubby, I was in the wrong. Don't be angry, okay?" Lin Che changed her strategy. She was acting coquettishly as she grabbed his hand and swayed it, pouting and looking at him with big, sparkly eyes. Her moist lips curled up like juicy, tantalizing fruits. Gu Jingze frowned and turned his head. "Let go of me." "No, no. I won't let go unless hubby says he's not angry anymore." "You. Say it, please, hubby. Look at me, dot." Gu Jingze had no other choice. He turned his head back to look at Lin Che's appeasing look like a small dog wagging its tail and refusing to leave. Especially when she called him hubby, it was soft and pillowy like cotton candy. How could anyone not relent? Taking a deep breath, Gu Jingze thought, she was indeed a breed of her own. How was he so unlucky that he married a wife like that? Forget it. I shall be magnanimous. I'm just doing a good deed. Since your intelligence is only that low, I shall be compassionate. Gu Jingze finally relaxed. Lin Che's smile stiffened. She looked at Gu Jingze sullenly. "Don't you know how to talk nicely?" Gu Jingze returned to the car. He watched Lin Che hold the steering wheel. She looked up at him and waited for his instructions. He smiled and looked into her eyes. "I have an idea that will make you learn faster." "What is it?" "We'll use rewards and punishments." "Ha! If you do something correctly, I'll reward you." "Reward me with what?" Lin Che's eyes lit up the moment she heard reward. She looked in anticipation at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze gazed at her full lips and gently pecked them. Lin Che was startled while Gu Jingze smiled as he said, "I'll reward you with a kiss." Lin Che immediately blushed. Gu Jingze.